It's 6:42 a.m. on Saturday, May 23rd. Approximately 7 hours ago, something attacked the city.
I saw it. It's alive. It's huge.
If you found this tape, I mean, if you're watching this right now, then you probably know more about it than I do.
Stop! It's down! I think they got him! Yeah! That's the shit right there! That's what I'm talking about!
Can I ask a question? How much has JJ told you about the whole Godzilla thing?
My son Henry and I went to Tokyo last year. We went to a bunch of toy stores, and I realized that almost all of the Godzilla was still featured. It just struck me that there was this iconic monster that was still, so many years later, prevalent in these stores and had meaning to the culture. And I thought, you know, I wish that we had a monster like that.
Japan had this incredible history of having these incredible monster movies, and we, with the exception of King Kong, had never really tapped into that market. We started thinking about, well, what if America had its own monster?
My name is Neville Page, lead creature designer.
Neville is a brilliant artist who designs a lot of creatures.
The brief that they gave me about what the design is supposed to be was really, really broad.
We started talking about, what's this monster? And how would it breathe? And how would it walk? Where would its lungs be? And how would its joints move?
I drew everything from, and we're talking real scruffy, loose sketches that were intentionally loose so that they allowed interpretation both on JJ's behalf and also my own. So that helped me kind of realize, okay, it's walking on two legs, and it has the emotive qualities of a human, but it clearly needs to look interesting and alien.
I think he was probably one of the very, very first people that was hired for the project. And so one of the things that was important to me was talking about what the creature felt like.
The one that JJ liked the most was the dead black great white shark eye. It was the easiest one to illustrate because it's basically black, a couple highlights. You don't have a pupil. You don't have a sense of where it's looking. Is it dilated? None of that. Like when you look at a great white shark's eye, their eyes are kind of like freaked out.
Well, Neville had this really amazing design, and he created a couple of still images to show JJ and the gang what this thing would look like. What does a 30-story monster look like in Manhattan?
They don't furrow their brow and use all those other cliches that we use to make a creature look, it's mean, so it's furrowing the brow.
I think there's almost nothing scarier than an animal that is much bigger than you that's terrified, because that animal is going to do anything.
Not let us get too close, but from what we can see, there's clearly a sizable mobilization of troops and equipment, and they're trying to get everyone to leave the area.
Your guess is as good as mine at this point.
How does a gigantic 350-foot monster move through the streets of Manhattan?
There appears to be something coming off of it. The ground seems to be covered.
It has flesh, kind of like a cross between a dog and a simian. Kind of this loping gallop in a way.
See this shit right now? Oh my God!
As the designer of the creature, I have to have reasons behind things, and there are reasons for pretty much every single square inch of the creature. But one of the things I thought would be very interesting is if it's not a monster that's come out of the water to just wreak havoc randomly and kill people, it is an infant. It's newly hatched, newly born. And all the pain that goes with something being exposed to a foreign environment and temperatures and things and sounds and little pestilent, almost like ants, people, having the knowledge that it was a baby really helped me understand a little bit more about what the creature would do.
I guess what was frightening to me was the idea of a large creature who was spooked.
But to know that when it is screaming, when it's roaring, it's not a threat display kind of thing. It's not the Godzilla. It's crying out for its mother, perhaps. It's lost. And that was helping feed me with an idea of, okay, now I can see how we can be potentially empathetic about the creature as opposed to afraid of it.
There were just so many brilliant ideas that he had, and he would come in with these amazing drawings. And to me, there's nothing more frightening than a wild animal. And if the wild animal is 300 feet tall, then you're in trouble.